Yo, what's going on, guys? All right, I think this is going to be a quick video. I just wanted to talk to you guys about how retention changes the way you look at women, changes the way you look at everything. But I want to focus on how it changes the way you look at women. So I've talked about this before. Obviously, one of the main things is like because you're abstaining from this lustful, carnal mentality, you've started to elevate. You've started to get more in the spirit, right? Because really, we've discovered on this path. If you're on this path, I think you're already hip to the nature of existence as a human being. In that, what's really going on here is that this is like the flesh versus the spirit. All right, and it's like you could look at that on the microcosm or the macrocosm. It's like everything that's going on in the world with some of these dark agendas and the dark forces and the hierarchy of evil, the powers that be, the corruption, all of this stuff. It's like these people worship the flesh and they're at war against the spirit. So they're at war against both the creator and the creation, right? And the creator, as it talks about in scripture, calls upon certain people. Certain people are chosen to receive certain information and to walk a certain path, right? We're put on a certain sort of mission. We have a purpose. And when we're engaged in the flesh, in the ways of the world, we are so distracted with all of this chaos and all of this noise that we get sort of, severed from our connection to spirit. And therefore, we're unaware of what our true spiritual purpose is in this life. So retention will take you out of carnality, out of the flesh, into spirit, into truth, into yourself. And it's going to help you discover what your divine purpose is on earth. And you're going to become more and more aware of the fact that you have this eternal nature as a spirit, and that everything fleshly is temporary. And so you stop fearing death. And of course, you stop fearing other individuals, because individuals are all part of the world of flesh. You don't fear the flesh, right? It's like you fear God more than you fear man. And of course, you don't fear women anymore, because you're not trying to get something from them. And so you start to see them not as these bodies with body parts that make you feel some type of way, that make you want to do a certain type of thing, but you see them as the spiritual beings that they truly are. Now, spirits, as we've come to understand on this path, aren't necessarily good. There are dark spirits, there are unclean spirits, and then there are pure spirits and clean spirits, right? There are spirits of wickedness, spirits of darkness, and there are spirits of benevolence and light, right? Just because it's spiritual doesn't mean it's good. Okay, this is very important. This is part of why I personally am a follower of Jesus. And one thing I've noticed about that, you guys, is that a lot of people get really uncomfortable when you start talking about Jesus. A lot of people like to throw shade on biblical scripture, on Christianity, and on people who are about Jesus as if we're foolish. But they become so uncomfortable, and all that really does is give more credence and more reality to Jesus's authority and the very real nature of Christ and the Most High. Okay, that's all it does, is confirm even more so what I already know and feel in my heart. The fact that certain types of individuals can't seem to hang. They squirm around. It's the same shit as like when you are very confident and you're around people who don't like themselves. They kind of squirm around in their seats too. They don't like it. All right. So we see women different. We see them with more respect. We see things more as they truly are on this path, right? And so part of what comes with this, you guys, is that what's going to happen is a lot of the same type of women you used to be attracted to, you won't be attracted to. In fact, you might even be repulsed by them. This isn't like a judgment. This isn't to say that they're bad people, that you don't have a sense of love and compassion for them as a spirit. But you can see that there are some things going on here that don't resonate with you anymore, because you've elevated. You're on another level now, right? And you'll discover on this path that a lot of females are just as infected by this programming as the men. You know, that's why we do what we do. This is a way out of the matrix. It's a way out of the programming, out of the conditioning, out of lust, out of the flesh, into the spirit, like I said. So you're going to see women different. And a lot of the same women that used to get your attention with the skimpy outfits and the big butts and the stuff hanging out, stuff showing, right? I notice this a lot at the gym, like certain type of women, man. It's just like they go out of their way to like keep passing me by, like trying to get my attention. But the thing is like, I don't notice their body parts so much as I notice their energy. Yeah, I still notice their body parts. I'm still human. I still have the flesh. I still have eyes. I still have a libido. I mean, part of me is like, okay, yeah, nice butt. But then it's like, what's going on with her energetically though? And you'll notice a lot of these women, man, you can just sense this like chaotic, the energy's just off. And a lot of them, it's weird how they'll kind of like peacock and flaunt around you, but at the same time, they're putting off this vibe like, don't talk to me. Like they're stuck up and they don't want to smile. I notice a lot of women like don't want to, like I go around, I smile at everybody. I feel like that's part of me being a follower of Christ, and me walking in the spirit means that every single living being that I come across, I want to share some joy with. I want to share some positivity with them. Even if it's just a smile, how are you? I hope you're doing well. Compliment them, whatever. See, I'll treat an old lady the same way as I treat a young lady. That's where this path has taken me. But some of these young ladies act funny, man. The old ladies, they love it. I mean, I'm more down to talk to an old lady nowadays than a young bombshell. Because there's something weird going on energetically and mentally with them, and spiritually, where it's like, they peacock, but they're aloof. It's like, and they definitely notice you, especially if you're on retention, you're confident, you got some swagger. They notice you and they want you to notice them. But at the same time, if you try to just be polite and courteous and be like, yo, how you doing today? Just polite, kind gestures. You're not trying to get nothing. But then they have this weird thing. It's like a competition. They just want to get your attention. And then it's like, okay, I got some attention. Cool. And it's very ego driven. And it's a turnoff. It's a straight turnoff. It's like, it doesn't matter how good they're looking. If that's the energy they're carrying around with this like aloof, stuck up, yet peacock, like I want the energy, but I don't want it, but I'm better than you, but at the same time I need you. But it's like, yo, that is such a mess. You're a mess. And I don't want nothing to do with it. So I just stay in my zone. I stay focused. That's why it's like, I'm not dating anybody. I'm staying celibate. I'm staying on retention. I'm looking around, checking the scenery these days, what's the word? Like they say play the field or whatever. There's a lot of fish in the sea, but not many of them, so far, none of them seem worth catching. It's like, I'm confident enough these days. I feel like if I really was interested in somebody, I have no fear of just pursuing that. But it's like, I feel into the energy and I'm like, what? No, I'd rather go home and just be alone, man. Straight up. I'd rather go on a walk in the woods. I'd rather go to the gym, have a workout. I'd rather listen to music, go on a drive. Like whatever. I like my own company. I don't need somebody else throwing me off, distracting me. And that's how it gets, you guys. That's how it gets. And it's actually a beautiful thing, but at the same time, it's kind of disappointing to realize that, like, man, not a lot of these women are really worth your time or energy. That's a huge transformation for me, you guys, because before, old me was just, look at that butt, oh my god, oh look at her, and anytime I got attention from one, I'm like, oh yeah, you know what I mean? Just in that weird, egotistical, lustful, carnal, fleshly state. Now that we're in this spiritual state, man, everything looks different. Everything is different. And that's just how it is. And that's how it's going to be. And that's how it's going to stay. And yeah. All right. Signing out, you guys. Peace and love. I hope you guys are killing it.